Unity Band. I don't know if we'll be dancing cheek to cheek this morning, but we will be heart to heart. Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, and so happy to be here with you. And welcome to those of you that are joining us online for this Mother's Day. If you're with us for the first time, thank you for popping in. I hope you received a little bag of popcorn to celebrate your popping in. Our little bit of humor and puns here. We do like to laugh. Our coffee bar is open, as well as our snack table is self-serve, so please avail yourself of our amenities and our refreshments. And if you would like to be part of the team that helps plan those amenities and refreshments, there's a sign-up sheet over on the snack table. Well, happy Mother's Day. Yes. We wouldn't be here, right? And you know, I was once told all your mother really owes you is birth. So anything after that is a bonus. But did you know that the beginning of Mother's Day was actually a social action movement? That Julia Ward Howard, who wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic in 1870, made a proclamation that she said, a radical pacifist appeal for women to unite and demand an end to war. So one of their slogans was rise up in the name of peace. So quite a bit different than the Hallmark thing that we celebrate today, but that strength of what mothers represent, the nurturing and the caring. So boy, that really shifted my whole idea about this Mother's Day. We are a prayer ministry, so if any of you have any concerns or celebrations on your heart, our prayer box is over there, a little prayer slip. Our team will pray with you for the next 30 days. If you're online, you can go to our website and put in your prayer request, or you can always email the church with it. First names only, please. And we will hold you in prayer for 30 days and send it to Silent Unity for 30 additional days of prayer. So no matter what is happening, you are not alone. Just know that there are people supporting you. Also, this morning, I wanted to welcome Danette Pinkerton, who you know, but you're going to know her new role today as she steps in as Sunday assistant. So she now has the answers to everything that I used to have the answers to. So, Danette, if you would stand so people know who you are. Anyway, do give her a little bit of time to kind of gather all those little tidbits of information. But this is a wonderful gift. This is my Mother's Day gift to me to go through that. Okay. Let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. This idea came out of our vision that we see a world powerfully transformed through a growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Understanding, we say shared because there's not the right answer, the perfect answer, that we're all unique on our path, so we honor ourselves and each other, whatever path they're on. It's often been said, one light but many lamps. So let us affirm together. The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. And Greg and Jill are over in Europe, so Winalee is song leading this week. And we have a new song that Winalee's going to introduce us to, Breathe Love. And so we are gangbusters for doing things that are new and fresh and affirming.
It's just a beautiful song. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe deep, breathe love, breathe in, breathe out, breathe deep, breathe love, breathe
Wow. So we're all breathing. What a great place to be in. All ready for prayer. That's lovely. Okay, lots of things to pray about. First of all, thank you, God, for a ceasefire right now between India and Pakistan, two nuclear forces who are bumping heads right now. Then there was a little incursion, but it's died down, so we were just holding that to hold, if you will. Also, of course, certainly continued consciousness of peace in Ukraine and peace in Gaza, whatever that might look like. Air travel. There's a lot of people traveling. We're just going up into summer, and there's a lot of problems. So just seeing that bubble of protection around those in flight and those on the ground that are helping us, and that just seeing the resolution come, because something needs to be changed, something needs to be healed. We will heal the safety of our travel, if you will. And welcome to Pope Leo XIV, who has his ties in Michigander. New Pope, we certainly join with celebration of the Catholic Church that their process is continuing, 267 popes. Wow, that's a long going, and that it's thrilling that he has a bent towards social action and compassion for the poor. So, and then of course mothers around the world, and human mothers, animal mothers, fish mothers, bird mothers. I mean, life goes on. This is an incredible process, and as we go on this day, I love going back to that whole thing about radicalize for peace, to really settle into that nurturing, caring area. So let's just take a moment, and we've been practicing breathing, close our eyes, and center into that inner space, that sacred place, that place we breathe into, that place where God breathes us, that we might expand our heart into infinity to embrace all those with whom we share this planet, that we may embrace all those with that vibration of harmony and peace, with that idea of wisdom and strength, knowing that there is a presence and power within each and every living thing that has the wisdom that is needed to traverse whatever stands in front of them. That all living things have a God-given right to life, to love, to wellness. So it is. Amen. May birthdays. I forgot last week, and I forgot to tell Jeff, but I bet you could just knock this one out, a little birthday tune. Yeah, you're so talented. Yeah. So who's got birthdays in May? Come on up so we can celebrate you. Kind of fitting to do it on Mother's Day. Oh, Austin's a Taurus?
Gemini.
A Gemini. Oh. I knew we had a few up here. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I have Jeff's name up there. Jeff, is that you? Is it your birthday this month? No. Must be Jeff Benoit, who's off to see his mother-in-law. Okay. I must be low on batteries. A little question and time at your table. Did your mother give you the right name? Do you know, sometimes you grow up and you know that name's yours, and sometimes it doesn't fit. And some of us may have quickly adopted a nickname. Some of us may have gone to our second name. Some of us may have picked a whole new name. And if we didn't do it as a child, I had a friend who's a minister who, her name was Donna, and she wanted it to be Donna, like the sun coming up. So she just went and changed her name. And she did that all through school, and to this day, she's known as Reverend Donna. So yeah, think about that. Because sometimes, they have to name you before they've even met you. Who knows who you're going to be? Okay, so did Mom give you the right name? Absolutely.
My name.
Yeah.
And I win at cards.
Oh, you win at
In my name.
because it's Win.
I'm meant
Win. Oh, I love that. Isn't that
And you
super?
are meant to share on.
You know what? Until the moment I was born, I was going to be named Brenda. Okay. I was going to be named Brenda. And my mother was so tired of hearing it, she gave it to her sister to use for her firstborn and named me Sharon. So, yeah, I think she used to get very upset, though, on the news when they talked about Sharon and Israel, because they kept they're saying it wrong, because the prime minister was Sharon, right?
I love the Sharon. And I was also supposed to be named Leanne. And my grandmother and grandpa, who made up the name, well, actually my great-grandma made up, they begged Mom and Dad to name me Winalee. And nope, she's Leanne. She's Leanne. Name her Winalee. It's the last chance for it to go on. Nope, she's Leanne. We'll pay you $100. Sold.
You won even before you were born. I love that. I love that. Oh, that's a great story. Oh, okay. Well, it's all family stuff. Shall we bring in the big family?
Absolutely.
I must be low on batteries, man. Okay. Okay.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Woo, woo. We are welcoming Winalee's new glasses.
Good morning. Is it on? Is it on? It is? Okay. Good morning. My name is Winalee Zeeb, and I'm grateful to serve as platform assistant today. Our daily word is mother's love. Inspired by this proverb, many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Love is a life-giving force, a tremendous power that binds all people in God. It is through this love we are all members of one big family. A mother and all those who selflessly share motherly love give warmth and depth to the free-flowing love of God. There's something so pure, so warm and comforting about a mother's love. This is the love that encourages us when we doubt ourselves, accepts us when the world feels cold, and celebrates our successes and helps us shine. No matter how mother's love come into our lives, we recognize and give thanks for its divine source. As the motherly love we have felt throughout our lives has blessed us, we pray those who have loved us so tenderly and fiercely know the love of God as they have shared it so generously. Let us affirm together. The tenderness of mother's love shows me presentation of. 2 Heritage Months are celebrated in May. Besides the Asian American and Pacific Islanders, it's also Jewish American Heritage Month. The first Jewish Americans arrived in New Amsterdam in 1654. I did not know this, Sharon. New Amsterdam. 10 years later, New Amsterdam was renamed New York City. Wow. Jewish Americans have served in government and military, won Nobel Prizes, headed universities, advanced medicine, created and performed as artists, written great American novels, and so much more. Perhaps most importantly, American Jews have always pushed America to live up to its promise as a nation that upholds freedom and justice for all. In honor of Mother's Day, we focus on a well-known American Jewish mother, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Along with becoming a Supreme Court judge, Ruth had a successful career as a mother. Her daughter, Jane, was born in 1955, during a time Ruth was in law school. Today, Jane is a professor at Columbia Law School. I love all the things I learned from you, Sharon. Her son, James, was born in 1965 and founded Sedile Record Company. Ruth was also a grandmother of 4 and enjoyed her family times immensely. If we were to buy Ruth a Mother's Day gift, we would probably consider a new lace jabot, is that how you pronounce it? Jabot, which she wore with her Supreme Court robes. Happy Mother's Day, Ruth. And it is with huge pleasure I get to introduce our soloists today, Matt Blyton and Leroy Harvey. Thank you for sharing.
I just wanted to let everybody know that this is the beginning of the sampling of the Passion in Music concert that is on Sunday, the 31st. So we're having Leroy and Matt, next week Linda Abar, and then the next Sunday we'll have Frog.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and my own as well. And it's a pleasure to be up here with Leroy and obviously with the team. I have a new song, and I think it came with retirement, where there's a sense of, I can do this. This is a good life. Which is the title. Good. Sometimes my feet tell me to take them outside. They ask me nicely, please bring my eyes. When my eyes are open, I tend to like what I see. So much of my life is good for me. I can open my mind when my thinking is clear, but my thoughts look around for something to fear. My eyes blame my mind for being crazy, but so much of my life is good for me. If I had to guess, they've been there all along. My intention was to go out on the spree. Still, much of my life is good to me. When I open my arms, it's easy to breathe. When I open my heart, I feel rested and free. My feet and my eyes, they seem to agree. So much of my life is good to me. Just wish. Sometimes my feet tell me to take them outside. They ask me nicely if I'd please bring my eyes. When I open my eyes, I tend to like what I see. So much of my life is good to me. So much of my life is good to me.
Yeah, much of life is good. So all of us, thank you. That's a great new song, Matt. You're wearing retirement well. So, before Easter, we did a lot of work on the power of now and really working on our spiritual side and being fully present. And I thought, even when we're spiritual, really working well on our spirituality, there is also this humanness about us that is really distracting. You wake up in the morning, you have these great thoughts, you're going to be so spiritually great today, and then something happens. So there's this book called Even Mystics Have Bills to Pay, and it was written by Unity minister Jim Rosemergy, who worked at Unity Village for a number of years. I remember him and his wife most dearly because I was working at Silent Unity on Christmas Eve, and you're missing your family. I'm in Missouri, and Jim and his wife Nancy came over and prayed in with us at 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve, just to let us know that that we were thought of and appreciated. That's the kind of people they are. So Jim has just a wonderful way of addressing real down-to-earth issues, if you will. So as we go between this humanness of ourselves and the spiritual side of ourselves, it's really, we're always in this kind of thing about who are we on? Are we on the right path? What are we doing? And this has gone on for years. Back in ancient Greece, on these columns, there's these axioms, and they suggested do nothing in excess. Even good, nothing in excess. You want to keep that balance. Certainty brings ruin, that when we think we know something for certain, it's not for certain. I mean, is there anything that you've said, this is absolutely the last truth? And then probably the most well-known was know thyself. Know thyself. And our life journey might be all about that, knowing ourselves. Who are we? And we really have a lot of different answers for that question. I love the smoking caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. Who are you? Who are you? And think about all the names we call ourselves. On Mother's Day, some of us are mothers or grandmothers or aunts or sisters or daughters. Some of us have all of those. We might call ourselves by what we do for a living. We might call ourselves by where we live, that we're a Michigander. We just have all these different names. So who are we? And who are we in relationship to others? Because it is a relative world. So often we think of ourselves, I'm the oldest, or I'm the youngest, or I'm the tallest in the family, or I'm the shortest in the family. Then there's also about what we do for a living or retirement. And then, am I the person other people think I am? That's probably a really big one. Have you ever noticed, I had a roommate one time that said, Sharon, you are really obnoxious when you're with your mother, when you become your mother's daughter. And she saw the change that when my mother would come to visit in California, all of a sudden I became my mother's daughter, not the independent, 20-something living out here in California. And I've noticed that, how we kind of reflect the group that we're in, how we can change with the thing. Okay. And basically that line we often talk about, are we really a spiritual being having a human experience? Maybe we forgot to put the spirit in us, that we're just human. Or maybe we're all spiritual and I just don't need to get this human stuff right, whatever that is. So we always have these internal questions about finding out who we are. And we have needs. The whole life cycle is so kind of mysterious to me. Okay, if we're the spiritual being and we come into human form, and immediately we can do nothing for ourselves. We are brought into the world to be totally dependent on caregivers. Think about it. Now, if I could do everything as a spirit, why would I go and have this human experience? Then we get a little older, we get toddlers, and now we start having needs in relationships with others. They have my toy, and I want it back. And if they have it, I will never have it again. I mean, a 2-year-old's only think in the now. I mean, so it's just kind of an absolute being. Then we get off. We grow up and go to school, and we start learning that there are things that we need to do to have our needs met. That we need to get an education. We need to be nice to other people. We need to, whatever that list was for us. We need to be polite. We need to dress the right way. We need to have plans for the future. We need to have goals in order to have our needs met. Because let's face it, we have needs, right? And then we get out to that, and we're young adults, less young adults, older adults. And we're still dealing with these questions. We have these needs that we need to have met. And how do we balance this with our spiritual nature, with our human nature, with the idea of allness and oneness? And though we know we have basic needs like food, water, shelter, warmth, we know we need other humans, that we do much better in community than we do singularly. And then there's other things that we seem to want to do like the passion of the creative mind, that we want to create things, we want to make beauty, we want to appreciate beauty. They're kind of intrinsic things that you can't put your hands on. So these needs that we have, beyond the survival needs, there's other things that give quality to our life. They really impact the quality to our life. If we don't have the ability to be creative, if we are somehow thwarted and are never allowed to be creative, something wilts inside of us. Something withers. It's just an inherent part of us that we need to create. So in the book that Jim writes, Even Mystics Have Bills to Pay, he tells a story about his son Ben, and they were trying to help Ben learn about saving money. And so he had money he had to put in savings, he couldn't just blow it. And this new video game came out. Mom, Dad, I gotta have this video game. There's money here in my savings. Can I take it and buy this video game? And they go, no, you can't. That money is for savings. You have this money until you save. If you save enough of your expendable money, then you can buy it. And he goes, but Dad, I have needs. The 7-year-old that is just so frustrated because they can't get their needs met. And it doesn't matter what age we are, but sometimes we all feel that, I have needs. Where is this going, right? So we look at others around us that seem to have all their needs filled. And you're going, oh, they must have a secret that maybe I don't have. Those who achieve success, those who have, they just seem to have everything. You look at them and, God, they have this perfect life. Why is my script so different than that? Or how about those that have all the answers? They never seem unsure of anything. They just go right on through, very confident in themselves. How does that happen? Well, in Unity, we talk about the idea that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. That we know is what we focus on grows, what we resist persists. When our thoughts are of needs, I have needs. Needs are really thoughts of lack. If you need something, you're saying, I don't have it. So when we get stuck in that need cycle, we really start getting into a lack cycle. And that the idea of lack usually means there's not enough to go around. I didn't get in there fast enough at the beginning to grab mine, maybe a little extra just in case. Or somebody else is taking my good from me. Somebody took my job. Somebody took my partner. Somebody took my whatever. So what the truth is, nobody can ever take our good from us. Might not fit our script, but ultimately you get that perception and you realize that this ultimately is for the best as things unfold. My battery is really low today. There we go. I think that's what it is. There was a song, Is That All There Is, my friend? Remember? Is that all there is? And sometimes we have those thoughts. There's this kind of emptiness because we're so much caught up in the lack circle. But also there's this other side where there's spiritual yearning. And I think sometimes we get mixed up on that yearning and think it's lack. Where the yearning is causing us, really calling us to go forward, to be creative, to make, to expand. And the human part of us misinterprets that as emptiness, as opposed to an empty being a possibility. There's room for us to grow into this thing. The idea of spirit, of divine mind, seeks consciousness that's focused on it, on the infinite, rather than focused on the problem. What we focus on grows. If we focus on the problem, we are contemplating that brick wall, and contemplating it, and nothing's going to change. If we allow ourselves that spaciousness of spirit, then we get to see beyond what's right in front of us to those possibilities for moving forward, those possibilities for an abundance of ideas to flow in and through us, the possibilities that there is a new path that we haven't even thought of yet, or a different path, or a different way, or something we're being called to grow into. So I thought about role models. You have Elon Musk and Bill Gates, two of the richest men in the world. Bill Gates used to be the richest man until he gave away a lot of his money, and then Elon Musk became a rich man. And an interesting thing happened this week. Well, Elon Musk, though he's the richest man in the world, he has a sense of lack about things. it's important for him to have market share. It's important for him to have the bulk of the good. And the only time we think about that is when we think in lack. That somehow we have to get the whole pie first before somebody else gets it, even though your needs are abundantly met. Bill Gates did something this week that gave me real pause for thought. He had started the Gates Foundation and got other billionaires to join the Gates Foundation. They've given away tons of money. And he was trying to set up a legacy so that this foundation would last beyond him. And this week, you probably heard on the news, he has revised that he wants all the money spent within the next 20 years. I thought, oh, but then it stops. Why would you do that? And then I heard the explanation. He said, 20 years from now, people are going to know so much more than we know now. And there's going to be other billionaires out there that are ready to help. So why not do all that I can do right now instead of thinking about lack in the future, that I have to only dole out the money in a little bit at a time so it will last. He switched to a thinking that this is an abundant universe. I want to put out that flow now to make a difference now, to save those lives now, to feed those kids, to get out the vaccines now, knowing that in the future there will be new sources. There will be new ideas. There will be new knowledge. I mean, that is brilliant for a man in his position to have that kind of awakening. He didn't care about his name being the living legacy. He just wanted to make the difference now, affirming that the universe is so abundant. So I'd never heard of that before. We know these foundations, right, that are set up for perpetuity. And what is that saying? That there's going to be lack in the future, right? The old human thinking of limitation. Interesting. When we are looking for something to be added to our life or to be expressed, let's say, in a greater amount of time, greater amount of talent, whatever that might be. What we were doing, we're asking in the sense of creating a space for it to happen. Not asking because we don't have it. We're making that demand on the universe. We're like opening a door and saying, I'm ready to go through this door for this other experience. There's a big difference between asking out of lack and asking, saying that you're ready to have this experience. You see the difference there? You know, if we go out and say, I have no friends, I need you to be my friend, what's your immediate reaction to that person? It's a little more than I can handle, you know, right? But if you're going, wow, I'm ready to have more friends, and you just open the door to it, it just happens. I guarantee you, it just happens. We are in that space of loving and letting. We become like this vibration for good things in the universe. In Jim's book, he has this great little story of this man who's going through the desert and wilderness, and as he's trudging along, all of a sudden he comes into this land, and he looks down, and there are gold pebbles all over the place. And so as he's struggling to get on, he picks up these gold petals, he puts them in all of his pockets and stuff. He's got a bag that's filled with it. And then up ahead he sees a town. He goes in, there's a restaurant there, maybe a bar, but it had food and drink. And he says, I want, he places his order, and he says, I'm going to pay for it with this. And he puts out the gold nugget there, knowing that it's more than enough to pay for it. The man goes, you're going to pay for this with a piece of rock? He goes, in this town, what's valuable is sand. And the man didn't have any. Learning what is valuable, allowing our beliefs to evolve about what is valuable. There was a time that I thought one of the most valuable things that I could own was a totally pristine, sharp crayon. A whole box of them, with none of the points worn down yet. Can you smell the crayon box when you open it? I have evolved beyond that. Though I still get a little salvatory in my mouth when I think about a brand new box of crayons that nobody has touched, that is just so perfect, just waiting for me to create with it. But our beliefs do evolve. And from those teen years and our early youth years when we're gathering, it's a whole about gathering and about having, we evolve beyond that and understand the cost of having, because you're responsible for all this. and understanding how priceless it is to have really great relationships, how priceless it is to have time with people that you love, how priceless it is to be able to appreciate your life. The song that Matt sang, how good, really getting how good his life is. All of us getting how good our life is. I don't know how anybody could look out the window today and in this moment just feel, wow, we are in the middle of the most priceless piece of art. And it's all there for us. Each of us individually, that is all there just for you. This is Mother Nature's gift for you today. You are so important to the universe. We were into our humanity, storing, hoarding, belief in lack, belief in loss. Last week, two very important things were lost and found within I just love it. It was a finding weekend. You know what I mean? It was a finding. Somebody was here with the Girl Scouts for their dinner, lost a sapphire and diamond ring. Lisa's cleaning, found the ring. The lady's happy. My wife couldn't find her phone. I called it, and a man with a strange accent answered. We left it at the restaurant. Funny thing about that was, the next day, her brother called from New York and said, Max, I tried calling you yesterday, and somebody that spoke very differently answered the phone. Anyway, but it all came back. Nothing is lost in the universe. If you don't get the exact same thing back, you get the equivalent back. If you allow that door to be open. Allowing that door to be open, knowing nothing is lost. In the divine plan, and when I say divine plan, it's like there's just such an order in the universe beyond even what our minds can grasp. But it's the consciousness of God that is unlimited, about what's really valuable. It's not scarce, it can't be deleted. The consciousness of oneness, the consciousness of this incredible order and interplay between all that is, and we are such an integral part of it. Divine supply is available for all, though earthly riches are not. Earthly riches can be manifestations of divine supply. But what we manifest here on earth is limited, just as our human time is limited. We have so many years. We have so much space, whatever that might be. But knowing that the infinite is infinite, there are not those same kind of boundaries. So the idea is God first. Jesus said, seek first the kingdom and all else will be added unto you. The kingdom, metaphysically, meaning that state of consciousness where you understand your interconnectedness. That state of consciousness where you realize a connection to something that is so much bigger than even all of us as a collective. There's so much, it goes even beyond that. That there's a humbleness in there and a great pride too, in that we are part of that allness, that hugeness. So if we find ourselves focusing on lack, or we find ourselves anxious, feeling inadequate, the needs that we think are not the real issue. What we think we need, what we think we're missing, this is not the real issue in our life. Our quality of life does not ever begin with what is lacking. From the moment we are born, there is enough air for us to breathe. Quality of life never begins with lacking. Nature's a wonderful role model. As you know, I have a puppy, Thomas, who's 11 months old and 100 pounds and has this big, furry body. And you know that summer is coming, the temperature's getting warm. And he has not said, would you please take me and get me shaved? Nature blows his coat. Horses do the same thing. They blow their coat to get ready for summer. Never once have they felt anxious about it. Never once have they fretted. There is an order and an ease to it. Sometimes messy, but... And we know for ourselves at the right time what we need comes to us if we have thrown the door open, if we are constantly putting God first in the sense of that connection, that relationship with the universe. Not a being that's a puppet master to us, but that exquisite power, the mystery that is so much bigger than everything. Some of you may have heard the story of Eddie Rickenbacker in World War II. He was a great fighter pilot, and at one point, he'd been in World War I too, and he was shot down with some crew, and they were in a raft, and they were out there for quite a few days, and at one point, he picked up the Bible, and read the verse about, put God first and all other things will be added unto you. And when you're down on your knees, humbled, really concerned about this physical being, things sound a little different than what you may have read at other times. And at that point, the story goes that a seagull landed on Ricky's head, and he grabbed it and killed it. They ate it. And right afterwards, a light rain came, and they had fresh water. And they were out there a few more weeks before they were rescued. But all of a sudden, from that need, and boy, can you feel the need if you're out in a raft and it's been a week and you haven't eaten and haven't drank. It's so easy to focus on the needs. And in that moment that he was able to think of God first, that greater consciousness that we are connected, that there is a way, even though I don't know what it is, there is a way, then things can happen. Seek God first. God doesn't fulfill a need. God is love. God is a force. God is knowledge. God is the wisdom. And all we are doing is opening the door to allow that to flow through and to manifest in our life. So I think as we go through finding out who we are, it's really like becoming a city monk. Any of you, growing up, maybe in your teen years, thought of becoming a nun or a priest or a monk, somehow devoting yourself to religious life, maybe even for fasting. It just seems so beautiful to go and do this very holy, sacred thing. And then we grow out of it, most of us. Some of us dedicate our lives and go on like Pope Leo. But how do we live our humanity with the same kind of values that we see in these very religious lives? It's very personal and very intimate at the same time. It's finding that balance between our humanity and our spirituality. Not so that one is over the other, overpowers the other, but so that it finds a way of working together. And when we do that, we find we have a greater sense of security and well-being. We have a greater sense of our humanness and our spirituality, and actually understand how intertwined they both are. So our perceived needs are met, but not as the reason we exist. When we find that balance, it's not the reason we exist in order to get. It's in order to be. And it reminded me of the covenant that the Fillmores wrote when they started Unity. And I wanted to share this with you this morning. It was written in 1892, but nobody read it other than the Fillmores until 1942. So they were just starting the Unity movement. They had just started Silent Unity, a prayer group, and they wrote this. We, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, husband and wife, hereby dedicate ourselves, our time, our money, all we have and all we expect to have, to the Spirit of Truth, and through it, to the Society of Silent Unity. It being understood and agreed that said Spirit of Truth shall render unto us an equivalent for this dedication in peace of mind, health of body, wisdom, understanding, love, life, and an abundant supply of all things necessary to meet every want, without our making any of these things the object of our existence. That's the idea of leaving that open door so that your needs are met, but that's not why you're doing it. You're not being good so that you get the goods, right? You're allowing yourself to be in that space. So the mystic that is truly within each of us. A mystic is somebody who really dedicates himself to pursue that higher truth, to contemplate, to self-surrender, to head into that oneness. And certainly humble, recognizing that we are a small piece of the allness. Just like the ocean and a drop of water, the allness is within us, and also we are that tiny part of the allness. Compassionate for others. These are the qualities, and can't you feel both the humanness and the spiritual quality of these? Comfort with ambiguity. This is a big stumbling block for most of us as we become one with the mystic within us, that you're okay with uncertainty. You don't know how it's going to end. You don't know what's going to happen this afternoon, and that's okay, because you know it's all good. If it's not good, it's not the end, as the old saying goes. That you become, in a sense, selfless, that you can prioritize what is the best for all over personal desires, that you can continually seek the truth, really wanting that deeper understanding, and be okay until you get it, that it will come to you. And that idea of transcendence, to go beyond just the ego, God bless the ego, but that ability to go beyond that to something greater. As we go through all these graduations this year, this time of year, they did a survey of what graduates found important. What were their values at graduation? And I thought how mystical they are. They said it's really important to define what matters to you because it's the intrinsic motivation that will get you through whatever it is you need to do. Strive for balance, not burnout. I wish my generation had that one. Through there. Be kind, serve others, and maximize your happy circle. See, that whole balance, we all have happy circles. Groups of people and places that we just enjoy. And maybe we need to spend a little more time in that happy circle whenever we can. And to be a good long-term steward of our values. That we are going to change, our values will change, but be a good steward on what really is important to you. So with that, we're going to go into a time of meditation. We're going to go back to Unplugged, which I was unplugged this morning. We couldn't get the TV up. Winalee introduced this song to us actually a few weeks ago. So we'll just take some time to go into that space.
Take a breath, take a seat, take a moment, and just be. Here you are, that's enough. Give yourself permission to unplug.
So as we unplug, as we unthink, we just close our eyes if that's comfortable for us and unstress, finding a place to rest in our chair where we can feel our body settle into ease and comfort. Those little qualities of life that are such a blessing to us. And as we too experience that idea of graduation, moving from where we were a minute ago, and graduating into the next moment, we have this wonderful opportunity to rebalance our human ego self with our spiritual, selfless beingness. As they each seek each other as us. That mystical essence, that is beyond measure, residing within us at all times, vibrating with the music of the spheres of the universe. There are no have-tos in this space. Only an open invitation of being a vessel, of being a conduit for birthing the creative force of the universe into manifestation. There is that wave of compassion and connectedness as we ever more deeply appreciate not just the beautiful life that we have been given, the many varied experiences that have crossed our paths and lay in front of us, but also the incredible connections and manifestation of others with whom we share this planet. Those far away whom we may never meet, let alone know their name. And those that are in our address book. Constant companions of one thing or another. So on this Mother's Day, with this radical call for peace, let that peace begin deep within us as we take just a moment in the silence. And in this brief experience of eternity, we know we have the power to let go, to unplug, to unthink. And it is with joy that we share this freedom of release so that we might embrace ever more love. And so it is. Amen.
Take a breath for yourself, just for you, and no one else. Feel the quiet, feel the love, feel the peace when you unplug.
And the world didn't fall apart when we unplugged. I love it. Okay, spiritual practice for the week. Do you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is Buddha Day. Yeah, they kind of look at the day of his awakening, but what the day, how it's celebrated, is to reflect on your own generosity and your renewed commitment to compassion and wisdom. That's a lovely celebration. Okay, take care of that this week. I get to take care of bringing up Matt and Leroy. What are we doing this time?
We're going to do a song.
You're going to do a song. I thought this was the dance routine. Okay.
I wanted to introduce you. I'm always amazed at the number of people who know Leroy, but in case some don't, he's a student of many spiritual disciplines. He's a thoughtful man, a devoted father. He's a skillful athlete, and not to mention the musicianship in songwriting abilities. He's a variety of interests and skills, and he's also a good friend.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. I want to thank the band for making us sound good today, and I also want to thank Stowe Daly and Karen Taylor Good for writing this song, which has kind of stuck with me for almost it's quite a few years. I love this song, and I heard it here quite a while ago. Hope to hear them again soon because they've got some great songs.
Thank you, Matt and Leroy and Unity Band. Wonderful, aren't they? Thank you, thank you. More at the Passion Concert, just seating. Our circle of generosity includes gratitude to every one of you who support Unity with your loving gifts. Our circle of generosity grows even larger when we share those gifts with others. As a tithing ministry, a portion of our tithe is shared with a local charitable organization that inspire and bless us. For the second quarter of this year, we will be sharing with the Greater Lansing Food Bank and the Capital Area Humane Society. Both organizations do the much-needed work of helping to care for people with food insecurities and also with animals with home insecurity. Let us bless these organizations and affirm our blessings as we sing, I Am So Blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I'd love to invite Derek up. We're so blessed with Derek. Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts we've received on your table. Let us affirm.
Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
The Greater Lansing Food Bank is one of our congregants' choice for the second quarter. Besides sharing of our tithes and with this organization in honor of Mother's Day, we're also collecting food for the food bank. More details are in the Unity Pulse. There are 2 upcoming events that require you to sign up in advance. On Sunday, June 1st, Reverend Grace is offering a Sunday morning adult learning time on pour art, P-O-U-R art. This has room for a maximum of 6 participants. There are 3 openings left. So if you're planning on attending, sign up today while there is still room. There's a $20 fee for materials. Then on June 14th, Julie Ross is offering a sound bath healing session. We require a minimum of 6 participants, so if you're planning on attending, sign up now so we may know the amount of interest for this event. Both sign-up sheets are on the credenza out. Next week, our Sunday adult learning time is featuring Mark Ruhala on the alchemy of improvisation, allowing and receiving. That begins at 9:30 a.m. in the upper lodge. And just as a reminder of those who made reservations, this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is the camping experience at Cranberry Lake Campgrounds. There's an enthusiastic support back there. The May Unity Pulse is on your table as well as a special bulletin about all the passion of the Creative Mind events. So much happening. Check it out. Coming up in the next 2 weeks. Check Unity's website or sign up for the weekly e-news to keep current on what's happening at Unity. A reminder that if you enjoy coffee and snacks Sunday morning, become a part of the hospitality team by committing to a Sunday. Just sign up at the snack table for a date convenient for you to be in service. Following the service, prayer practitioners are available to pray with you one-on-one.
Prayer practitioners will be gathered here by the lectern, so you may identify them with their purple stoles. As we gather for a closing circle, we will be passing out white carnations as a gift to you from your mother. May we create a consciousness of community. As we sing I Choose Love, followed by the prayer of protection, feel free to stand in place or join the circle. Reminder to be respectful when taking someone's hand.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us, it can't be undone. I choose love. Peace on the planet is growing because I choose love. That love be present is what we're made of. I choose love. We are part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us, it can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. We choose love. The light of God surrounds us.